for Israel today, and I mean really bad. The Israelis previously thought that Iran had around 2,000 ballistic missiles. Well, Netanyahu comes out today and says, guys, Iran has 28,000 ballistic missiles. They thought that Iran was running low on missiles. The headlines are all that Iran is running low on missiles. That's why they're only shooting these small barrages out. And then yesterday they launched the biggest missile attack on Israel in literally history. And Netanyahu comes out today and says, well, our intelligence got it wrong. Turns out they have a lot more than we thought. Also, they're able to replenish this pile of ballistic missiles quicker than they're using them, through means of buying them from Pakistan, buying them from China, buying them from Russia, and just producing them within Iran. If they shoot out 100 a day, they can buy a patch of 500 the next day. Israel's defenses are also running dangerously low. If you're wondering how low they're running, the U.S. is stationing warships off the coast of Israel to assist in shooting them down, because the Iron Dome is, number one, not working. The David Sling is, number one, not working. And number two, for both of them, they're running low. They're literally having to save the missiles and pick out which ballistic missiles they want to take down because they are so low on them. Make sure to follow me for the newest update.
Missile has struck. We are live from Doha, Qatar, where an Iranian missile has struck. As you can see behind me, the devastation is significant. Panic is widespread. We are live from Doha, Qatar, where an Iranian missile has struck. As you can see behind me, the devastation is significant. Panic is widespread. We are live.
השגנו ניצחון היסטורי, והניצחון הזה יעמוד לדורות. הסרנו מעלינו שני איומים קיומיים מיידיים: איום ההשמדה בפצצות גרעין ואיום ההשמדה ב-20,000 טילים בליסטיים. אם לא היינו פועלים עכשיו, מדינת ישראל הייתה עומדת בקרוב בפני סכנת השמדה. אבל זה לא קרה.
Breaking news. Israel has sent an official message to Iran indicating that it wants to end the conflict, but Iran responded that the time to conclude hostilities has not yet arrived. Meanwhile, Iran's foreign minister traveled to Russia to meet with President Putin to consult on the military situation following the U.S. airstrike campaign. Iran launched over 30 missiles at U.S. military bases in Qatar and Iraq in retaliation for the U.S. involvement alongside Israel against Iran. Is World War III truly beginning? Additionally, the United Nations and other humanitarian organizations have refused to cooperate with the Gaza Humanitarian Fund due to concerns that it was established to serve Israel's military objectives. Furthermore, the U.S. airstrikes on 3 Iranian facilities cost nearly $1 billion, but did not yield the desired results. President Trump issued a stern warning to Israel on social media, urging Israel to stop its airstrikes and recall its pilots home. Finally, former President Trump may meet President Zelensky at the NATO summit in the Netherlands.
Not one IDF soldier was sent to Iraq. Our soldiers died on your behalf, Conriquez. This has been all about engaging in a regime change war. That's what this is. Anyone who's pretending like this is about nuclear weapons is lying to you. Again, the United States is forced to fight another war on behalf of Israel. And I just want to ask Conriquez a question real quick, because I'm seeing a lot of videos of Israelis leaving Israel to go home to the United States or to Greece or to other European countries. You guys got what you wanted. You guys got your war. Are you expecting American troops to fight this war and die on your behalf? Or are you going to bring the Israelis back, tell them to put their fatigues on and get ready for a ground invasion? Because if they want regime change, they're going to need a ground invasion, and Americans shouldn't be forced to do it. However, I think what Iran was doing, considering the fact that they're in a region of thugs in Israel who clearly have been announcing that they want regime change in Iran, they wanted a deterrent. I think that's what they were doing. And as this war in Gaza, this genocide in Gaza continues, I think they wanted some form of a deterrent, much like Israel has with their over 90 nuclear weapons that they don't acknowledge, of course. They're not part of the Non-Proliferation Treaty, even though Iran was. Just really interesting comparisons there. So I don't like watching children get slaughtered by a genocidal regime that we're unfortunately funding with our taxpayer dollars and with military weapons. That's what I don't like. Look at Conriquez. Look at how flippant he is when it comes to children getting killed. That's the kind of person you are, Conriquez. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. The international community sees it. And honestly, Dinesh, it is a stain on America's reputation. And we are literally funding modern-day Nazis today in their genocide against Palestinians. Okay, but regime change should not be spurred by the United States and Israel, which wants to install a puppet government on their behalf. And by the way, the Iranians know that. They know that. Polling indicates the vast majority of them want regime change. They don't want it to be done by Israel. You have to be clear about that, because I think there's an intentional misframing or false framing of what's happening in Iran right now and what the population actually wants. Now, with that out of the way, my issue, Pierce, is that the United States has been expending its resources and has been essentially sending its soldiers to die in wars on behalf of Israel, a country that
Not a
goaded us
single
into
American soldier
invading
has been
Iraq on a
wounded. Come
false
on, be
pretense
serious. Don't be
of
such a
weapons of
demagogue.
mass destruction.
Be
4,000
serious and
of our
be
soldiers
factual.
died
Not
in
a
Iraq.
single
You
American
didn't send a
soldier has
single
even been
IDF
wounded.
soldier. Not one IDF soldier was sent to Iraq. Our soldiers died on your behalf, Conriquez. This has been all about sent to Iraq.
As Iran's foreign minister, I must clarify that Iran did not agree to Trump's so-called ceasefire. We have never reached any ceasefire agreement with Israel. This liar lied to you again. He colluded with Israel to launch a war against Iran. He has harmed my country like this. Our revenge has just begun. He wants to transform from a war maker to a peacemaker. It's so hypocritical. Tell him it's impossible if Israel does not stop its illegal aggression before 4 a.m. their own time. We will definitely fight back. This is not a ceasefire just because Trump said so. The final decision still needs to be discussed later, not as Trump said that an agreement has been reached. What's more ironic is that there are explosions and the roar of fighter jets in the northeast of Tehran, my country. Countless people living in the area have died as a result. Is this what he calls a ceasefire? Trump's lies are nothing but political manipulation. Iran will never recognize it. As Iran's foreign minister, I must clarify